This is the Fantasy Football Game Plan, where we talk about fantasy football and the NFL. How'd you do yesterday? How'd your fantasy team do?
I'm still waiting for today.
Oh, right. Right. We've got the Monday nighter still.
Yeah, I have Eckler still to score a buttload of points, but the other guy has Mike Williams and Justin Herbert, as well as the tight end for Wallace. So he has three potential guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so who knows what happens? I can't say what's going to happen.
Right.
The outcome is indefinite, so I can't say
Right.
these guys are going to have a crappy game, not throw any touchdowns. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think long conversions are not going to happen.
Yeah, it happened to me. I had Brady as my QB yesterday, and I've
points?
already lost. The guy I'm playing has Herbert and Eckler tonight, and I've already lost because I'm done.
Yeah.
I also had Dalvin Cook, who did nothing.
5 points.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah,
so 3-1. That's okay. I'll take it.
Wow.
Pretty bad, right? Pretty bad. That's fantasy football, right? You just don't know what's going to happen.
What's weird in my league is that this week was one of the lower, seems to be one of the lower scoring weeks. Week 4, going into the bye week of week 6. It's interesting that this one has. Usually, you get lower scores once you start have to going into your bench, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting that this week maybe other people got the ball, and maybe that's what we're talking about today. Let's talk about injuries, though.
Yeah, I mean, the main one that I'm thinking about is David Montgomery from the Bears, the running back, getting injured. Mm-hmm. His knee, apparently it's not a majorly serious injury. They've looked at the MRI, but he's going to miss some time. He's going to miss a few weeks. Yeah, he put in a lot of great work before he got hurt, so he probably won some people their game yesterday, but good luck next week.
Yeah, well, his backup, that guy from Kansas City, Williams.
Yeah. He's going to be on our list for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Damian Williams from Chicago.
Right, that's right. He used to play for Kansas City last year.
Chiefs. Yeah. Okay, well, I just wanted to say, did you watch the Sunday Nighter, the big Brady goes home to Boston game? It was kind of a crap game. The weather was horrible, and there weren't a lot of points.
No, I thought the rain subsided, and then near 2-minute mark, it still saw that it was just crazy. Still coming down so hard.
Yeah, what I learned from that game is that God loves Tom Brady, and he doesn't like people who are trying to beat Tom Brady at football, because they just as there's 2 minutes left in the game and Jones is running onto the field to try to lead his team, to victory over Tom Brady, the skies just opened up and dumped a horrific amount. It was like sheets of rain coming down.
So it did stop for a bit and then came back.
It stopped for Tom's last go-ahead drive, and then it started again for Mac Jones. And I was just laughing. It was when the game was over, even the commentator said, well, Tom Brady's won more games in the stadium this season than the Patriots have. And I just thought, oh, insult to injury. Broke the record, won the game. The weather was crap. It played to his advantage.
And then he breaks the record for passing, and all you see is Drew Brees on the side. When Drew Brees broke it, the whole stadium shut down. They did 5 minutes. His kids came out. Yeah. But I guess it's because it was at home, and they must have decided that, we're not going to make a big deal because he's not our man. It would be a different story if it was in Tampa, but it was so not even dramatic. I thought A.J. Brown caught the pass, but then at the end of the recap, they were like, no, Evans actually caught it with this one, the 21, which then they claimed it was 23 yards.
Right.
Whatever. But
very anticlimactic. The whole thing was very anticlimactic. Just a crappy score. It was a close game, but it wasn't an exciting game. There was a lot of drama, but not a lot of excitement.
A lot of drop balls, that's for sure.
Yeah, the weather was bad. It was bad football weather.
Yeah.
So I figured, maybe we just get into our list of pickups this week. The injuries have huge implications. Starting with quarterbacks, if you're ready.
Ready.
Okay, so we've had Taylor Heinicke on the list. We've had Daniel Jones on the list, on and off. And, Sam Darnold is a guy that we've been talking about weekly. Those guys are all still available in a lot of leagues. They're all good pickups. They're not playing great week in and week out, but with the bye weeks coming up, grab one and claim one. But this week we've got a name to add because of the injury to Garoppolo. We got to see Trey Lance yesterday, and wow.
Yeah. I always liked that guy coming out. I thought he was the better quarterback coming out this year. So it's good that he is a success. And yeah, who knows if Jimmy G has a high calf injury or something, how long that would take him. But why not grab him? Bridgewater also got injured this week too with a concussion. So he got out of the game on the second.
But Drew Locke did not excite when he came in. I mean, Trey Lance looked rough, and he's a rookie, and he didn't have the week of practice. And I think Shanahan will scheme to get him better reps and to devise a game plan that's closer to his talent set. But he's got that it thing. He's got the explosive runs and the throwing on the run. And I think he brings a lot more to the table than Jimmy Garoppolo. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him win the job going forward.
Talking about guy who can throw on the run is that quarterback with those speedy legs from Arizona, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Holy cow, what a little speedster thrower that guy is, So maybe Trey Lance is going to follow into his footsteps, or, obviously other guys before him.
Same kind of a QB, it's that Lamar Jackson, get you points with your legs, get you points with the throws. But looking at that Arizona team, holy cow, they score so many points that, we've got guys on our list this week all over the place from that team because they score from every position on that team.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last week where it's hard to pick a receiver because at any given week they're throwing to everyone. So
yeah, well, pick them all. It just seems like, we weren't really sure, but AJ Green is a guy that you want to have. He's consistent now. He's actually having a real resurgence. You've liked him from the start of the season. I needed to see it, but I'm seeing it now. Like he's consistently getting the ball. He's the number 2 target there.
Yeah.
Scored a touchdown again this week. Lots of receiving yards. Darnell Mooney was somebody that I liked in the preseason. I was drafting him in the snake and ladder leagues. I was getting him in those late rounds because I thought he would be pretty great. And now he's healthy and he's looking really good. I think he's got to be on the list, but Justin Fields was the starting quarterback for that team yesterday. And apparently the coach, they won, they beat the Lions. The coach is still saying that when Dalton's healthy, he's going to be the quarterback again. What do you think about that? Fields is just gaining some traction. You're just mad because they beat the Lions, I guess.
Well, the Lions also left 9 points on the board and fumbled in the red zone 3 times. That's okay, though. That's just, you know what? I have to say that being a Lions fan, it actually has entertainment football written all over it because you just lose your head thinking like this is the worst thing possible. And then they give you this this shine of light that maybe something could happen. And then it just turns back to the same old problems.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Yeah,
it's actually entertaining. So people might say, "Oh yeah, you have a crappy team." Every week, I am seriously have emotions going like this because I'm cheering, I'm swearing, I'm hiding, I'm dancing. But yeah, Who knows? It's going to be a quarterback committee in that, like Dalton's going to come back, and then what is he not going to do well, and then someone else is going to come in. Fields come in the second half. Like, it's going to be weird. I don't know if I would pick any of those two quarterbacks, just because it's just, let's see what it comes down to the end of the season, and next year you might have a understanding of who to be or who to pick, like.
Well, I think, we just got to pat ourselves on the back because we had the AJ Green thing. We had Mooney. Emmanuel Sanders is healthy now, and we've talked about him before, but he's looking good consistently now.
Yeah, he's got probably, I'm pretty sure he got picked up last week on most people's radars.
Yeah.
All the way through. So I think if we probably looked at his stats, he's probably at like a 98%.
Right.
On roster, right?
Right. And we've talked about Tim Patrick before, and even more so now as the injuries start to pile up in Denver.
He's a tall guy.
What's that?
He's tall. I mean, I've never seen him catch a ball or whatever. And this weekend I was watching Denver and I was like, holy cow. I'm like, this guy is like maybe 6'2", 6'3". He's a big body. So he's catching the ball because he can jump.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's a big target. There's a couple of new names on the list this week. Jameson Crowder from the Jets.
COVID, he's not a vaccinator.
Okay, well, so he might not always be available for you. But I mean, the Jets and the Giants won this week. I thought that was pretty remarkable. And then another guy that we are adding to the list this week, Randall Cobb, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers loves him. He's sort of pushed the tight end Tunyon out of that offense. He's hogging those targets now. Valdez-Scantling is out, and Cobb is a go-to guy for Aaron Rodgers, which is a good guy to have at least stashed on your bench, but maybe, playing as a flex with the bye weeks coming up.
When Rodgers had his press conference for, the 45 minutes of dogging his team about their management choices, Randall Cobb was on the list of players that he said that shouldn't have been treated. So it's good that he's throwing to his buddy, but we should have also saw that writing on the wall after the press conference to be like, oh yeah, Rodgers likes to throw to Cobb. We should pick him up.
Yeah, we should have known, but now we're seeing it.
There's one more that we didn't talk about was New York Giants.
Kadarius Toney from the Giants. Yes, thanks. So, I mean, all the other guys are banged up, and this guy is running around. I mean, he's got rocket fuel he's burning. This guy is fast. And I think maybe not as a start yet, but definitely, I mean, as a stash, this guy's got speed to burn. He's got moves. And with everybody else being banged up, Daniel Jones has got to throw to somebody else besides his running back.
Galladay got a couple touches too, so you're sitting with that player. It's the first time he's actually started to earn his money.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones was the first time he threw over like 200 yards.
Over 400 yards.
Yeah, he threw for over 4, but it's the first time he's thrown over 2. So it's good that he's had this game, but he hasn't thrown a 300.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, I mean, 4 is better than 3, so let's hope he can keep it up.
Yeah, but if next week he throws under 2, is he really? But he might run for 100.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, he might run for it. He uses his legs to score points.
Yep.
So keep your eyes on him. Bye weeks are coming up. You're going to need those backup quarterbacks for sure. And okay, so now running backs. Now that we've got everybody, back to just James Conner for a second. 2 touchdowns. The thing is, how we were talking before about Kansas City and about the way to play them is to kind of lay off so that they don't get those big explosive plays. The thing about this team, Arizona, is you can't really do that because they've got Connor for one, Chase Edmonds for another, and like you alluded to, the quarterback Murray can run, and they will burn you up the middle. They're not like the Chiefs who will sort of get a few yards and then cough up the ball. These guys can beat you every which way, outside, up the middle. Even their tight end's going to be on our list this week. I mean, they're running the ball. Connor's the touchdown back, right? He's the goal line back. Chase Edmonds put up over 125 yards of offense himself. We've talked about Kyler Murray. I mean, they have no weakness on offense.
No, the defense lays back a little bit. They're going 4 yards up the field every time through the middle. So, if Connor's not around, like if Connor's still on someone's waivers, pick him up, because we saw last week 2 touchdowns, this week 2 touchdowns. It's 4 touchdowns. Yeah, that's definitely a good pickup or trade.
So the other running backs on the list are mostly injury oriented in terms of them, being positive to pick up this team.
Right. So, we forgot about talking about Mixon getting injured.
Yeah. So, but here it is, because P. Ryan's on our list, because Mixon, I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but he is injured. And P. Ryan was the guy who came in. Gio Bernard's gone. They haven't established anybody else in that offense. So if you're needing a back the next few weeks, P. Ryan should help. And we talked a little bit about Damian Williams coming in for Montgomery in Chicago. But last week, do you remember we were trying to figure out who in Seattle would be the next man up?
That's right. They had 3 potential to pick up the weight.
Right. Chris Carson's got a hamstring injury or something. They're not really talking about it. He played a little bit, but not a lot. And Alex Collins stepped up and had a lot of carries and looked pretty good. And it looks like, depending on where Chris Carson is, Alex Collins is a good pickup for the next few weeks anyways. And then the last guy, I don't know what's going on in Philadelphia. They just seem to not care about running the football. I know they're usually behind. If you're a Sanders owner, you must be pulling your hair out and just wondering.
But we talked about this prior to the draft. There was no point to pick up a running back with Hurst not like being a ball hog. And who is getting the ball and how are they running it? I don't know. Even Ertz was catching the ball yesterday too. So what's going on in Philadelphia? I think we both sort of said, let's stay away from running backs from this team, because really there's nothing really to talk about. Like, they're not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, in terms of waivers, we're doing this for people who are going to be in need of help. And, at this point in the season, with bye weeks coming up and injuries starting to hit, there still are players out there that might be able to help you. And Kenneth Gainwell from the Eagles is a guy he's getting some touches. He's getting some looks. He's getting the ball a little bit. And I think that when things start to thin out during bye weeks, he is someone to consider. Maybe pick him up and stash him if you've got room for that. If you've got running backs that are going on IR, Montgomery, or Cincinnati, the injury situation there. Maybe you've got a little bit of room, but these are some names that we want you to consider if you need help at running back. You're not a big fan of anyone from Philly, obviously, so that's noted. Okay.
There's some things I just don't want to touch. And anything on Philadelphia, I'm not interested in. Doesn't matter. Who throws the ball, who catches the ball, and who runs the ball, and who defends the ball, or kicks the ball. I think I've named all the positions in fantasy.
Right.
I'm not interested. But other people could be interested because they might have receivers or running backs that they need to gain. And maybe Gainwell will get you.
Yeah, well, he won't be available, but Devonta Smith is an absolute fantasy stud. He's a great player.
Yes, the rookie wide receiver that is catching and doing as much as they possibly can. So.
Yeah, and Hurts. Hurts won't be available on the waiver wire, but he would help you if your main quarterback was down.
Yeah.
And then, since we're in the state of Pennsylvania, I just wanted to say, other than Najee Harris, I wouldn't want anything to do with the Steelers ever at all. They need to finish the season, draft a quarterback, go through a rebuild, get an offensive line, I mean, it's over for them. You know, we talked about last week about how Roethlisberger can't throw the ball past the line of scrimmage, so he has to throw it to the running back. You know, I think it was 19 times last week. And this week, I mean, they couldn't go down the field with the ball. He doesn't have the arm. It's just a noodle.
Yeah. They're getting into the yawn football club. Like, oh yeah, they're playing. I'm like, yeah. No exciting plays. I'm just hoping that someone I'm playing against doesn't have points when the receivers catch the ball, because they have a great receiving core, and you know, somebody that you're playing against probably has them starting. Like, so yeah, so that's every time. I just cringe when I watch them because I'm like, oh my goodness. I hope someone doesn't catch the ball, and I hope not playing that guy that has that on the bench. But yeah, stay away from Philly.
And I don't know how long Thomas is going to be out for, but if you had him, or if you're needing a tight end, like many of us always are, look at Ricky Seals-Jones for the next few weeks. Should be getting the ball.
Yeah, and as someone else who got injured, the Rams, Higbee is questionable as well too as of today. So I'm not sure what happened with that. But you know, if that's the case and you have him, you might want to think about picking up Max Williams.
Max Williams, Ricky Seals-Jones, and then there's a couple guys that are just, I mean, they are now scoring. They're touchdown machines, it seems like. And by the way, I'm a Higbee owner, so I need to take some of my own advice. Dawson Knox is still available in a lot of leagues, and this week he scored 2 touchdowns. So we need to pat ourselves on the back here because we've been nailing it.
But the crazy thing is that his stock just went so far up if you didn't grab him last week, because if you're not watching football and you don't know who this guy's name is, Knox, then you are not listening to football. It seems every pass is going to him.
Yeah.
You know? Like they have Jeffers and they have Diggs, and this Knox guy is still catching.
Yeah. Emmanuel Sanders, they have a lot of targets, but they're kind of like Arizona, the Buffalo team. All pieces are valuable. They're killing it everywhere. And the last guy, I hate to say it, but there's a Dallas player that wasn't talked about too much, and it's Dalton Schultz.
Well, we run our program now on Mondays. He played Monday Night Football last week, had a really high producing week. And then yesterday did the same thing too. Yeah. They're throwing him. Dak likes him into pressure situations, and he's getting the ball. So, you know, it's time. It's our timing. It's what we're looking at. And, you know, he is definitely an eye opener. So if you're a Dallas fan, you probably know this, and there's a lot of them in the world, and so he's probably picked up in a lot of leagues right now. But let's just make sure that he's on our board to make sure that you can pick him up.
I should have taken my own advice. I can't believe that I kept Higbee and I didn't go and get Dawson Knox when I had the chance, because in my league he's gone now, but that was after us saying take him for a while. But there's another player that you grabbed from the now this is just, it's a running back, it's not a tight end, but we've kind of gone through our list now. But Cordurell Patterson is a guy that you talked about wanting to play him as a flex, because he can be a running back, he can be a receiver. He's definitely stealing touches from Davis.
Okay, but we don't need to play him as a flex. You could play him in any other of those positions. You can play him as flex, or you can play him as a wide receiver or a running back. It doesn't matter where you put him in.
Yes.
34 points in PPR league.
Yeah.
This week.
If Henry wasn't there, he'd be the number 1 fantasy running back in my league, and we're not even PPR. So he's killing it. Just no matter what kind of league you're in, if you didn't get him when we told you to get him, go get him now if you can. And I did mention last week to keep your eye on Wayne Gallman. Well, now he's playing now. He's taking carries away from Davis also. Davis did score 1 touchdown, but between Patterson and Wayne Gallman, I think he's being edged out of that offense. So he's been paid. So Wayne Gallman It's been picked up by the Falcons, and he's getting touches now from Davis. And Cordurrelle Patterson is getting touches from Davis and killing it. And so we, just keep your eye on Gallman, because down the line, it might grow for him. He might get a bigger and bigger role as he goes along here. I don't think they're very happy with Davis. He's not really producing.
I got confused with the Davis wide receiver. Because he finally produced this week. So congrats to all those people that picked him high in the draft.
Right. So you're talking about Corey Davis?
Yeah, Corey Davis. Okay.
Yeah, I have him on my team. I haven't been able to play him yet because we've had 4 weeks in football this year. And week 1, he was great. Week 2, he was non-existent. Week 3, he was barely existent. And week 4, he killed it. So I'm having trouble because I don't want to get rid of him because I've seen the potential, but he's inconsistent. And I'm always looking for consistency. But I mean, I should have played him over Dalvin Cook yesterday and I would have had a real chance.
Yeah. Dalvin Cook only got 5 points.
Yeah. And Corey Davis got a couple of touchdowns. He put up pretty great numbers. And I mean, I'd just like to see that a little bit more consistently from him.
Carolina's defense, are they still the bee's knees?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
we talked about it two weeks ago. He said, go pick him up and whatever. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They're okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're starting to play some tougher opponents now, so we'll get a better idea.
What about Dallas's defense?
Yeah, they're looking pretty good. I mean, they didn't look like that week 1 against Tampa Bay, but it's not week 1 anymore.
No. So, but I'm pretty sure Dallas's defense has been taken up. A lot of Dallas players seem to get sniped up pretty fast because of a lot of people liking them. So,
yeah, and Stephon Diggs' brother, I can't remember his first name, but his name's Diggs, obviously, on the Cowboys. He's killing it, picking the ball off left, right, and center. What a great player.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't wait to see him cover his brother. That would be fun. Kickers are still kickers, so we're not going to talk about them again.
Kickers. Wasn't there like another crossbar this week or like
doink?
Yeah, the doink. That was yesterday.
You could hear the doink.
It was so loud. It was the loudest doink I've ever heard in my life. That was
what a big doink.
Oh, what a doink. It's too bad about your fantasy week. But let's chat next Monday.
Yeah.
And see where we're at. Because next week is actually a crucial week because bye weeks start week 6.
Yeah.
So we really need to figure out, rosters are going to change quite a bit. And we gotta start talking about who is not playing. So listen up, everyone who's not playing on week 6. It's going to be a big one. So next week, when we're talking about week 5, going to week 6.
Okay, and good luck tonight with the Monday Nighter. Hope your guys come through for you, Austin Eckler.
I just have to make sure that the other guy, just doesn't score points. He has three excellent players. Herbert, Williams, doing the multiplier combo.
Yeah.
And then Wallace is catching at least 15 passes.
Yeah. Well, nothing you can do but watch. So good luck.
Okay, cool. Well,
all right. Have a good week.
Yeah.
Talk soon.
Bye.
Thanks for watching the Fantasy Football Game Plan podcast. Need coaching on your lineup? Drop us a line and we'll discuss your dilemma.